I know I'm a good swimmer, so I would probably have thought, like many men, that I could swim out to a lifeboat. We now know, however, that vigorous exercise in cold water only increases the effects of hypothermia. So most of those men who swam for it died more quickly, and their bodies were never found. Through the Titanic, we can recreate this world. And, you know, for the anniversary, there was lots of talk about class distinction, how the world was 100 years ago. So it's this fascinating time capsule of a world that is now gone. And I think a very useful parable, really. I don't focus on hundreds of people because I think if you do, you end up with a lot of little potted bios of people, and none of them mean anything. By focusing on the kind of leading characters who, through their lives, form the best microcosm of the times, whether it's millionaire John Jacob Astor or the fashion designer Lucille Duff Gordon, and their fascinating stories, and intertwine them, it makes for a very compelling picture, and you're able to actually describe these people and bring them to life. You would think that after all the hoopla about the 100th anniversary that would finally exhaust the interest, but in fact the anniversary, as far as I can tell, has only stimulated interest, and lots of people come up to me and say, I'm so interested, you know, I watched all the documentaries. People who traveled regularly on liners tended to know each other. And it was a much smaller world than our power and wealth were concentrated in much smaller circles. So I was just surprised by all the connections that I was able to make between these people to present it as a microcosm of the Edwardian world. Well, people do wonder, you know, is it inappropriate, the interest in the Titanic? Is it ghoulish? You know, I produced a book called Last Dinner on the Titanic, in which you can recreate the last meal served on the Titanic, which people do, and I've been to many of them. And some people say, oh, that's creepy, you know, that's ghoulish. I don't think so. If you're a Titanic enthusiast, recreating the Titanic, much as reenactors do with, you know, the Battle of Hastings or whatever it happens to be. They do it out of respect and enthusiasm and affection for the story. And I've never been at a commemorative event for the Titanic, whether it's a dinner or a gathering, where there isn't a very touching moment where somebody plays or sings Nearer My God to Thee, and the people are not remembered.